was that this university is called Free Syrian University. It's just like in a town, a city on the border, Turkish border. They started enrolling Syrian refugees, students. They said, actually the field they are doing like literature, economics, business, and all these fields. Like, of course, that they don't include like medical or engineering. But what I read, just like 2 days, I started reading about this, and they have their own like the mission. And so they said they will enroll 500 students in each field, and the students started registering for this. And I heard about another university, but it seems that they are trying to launch it. I don't know if that's what you are talking about. It's in Istanbul. It's called Arab Turkish University. So they are, but I don't think they will be able to start enrolling students this year, but that might be like a project for the future. But yeah, like Syrian academics, Syrian business men, so they are trying to invest in such projects in education, just like building universities out of Syria, which like, okay, I think like Turkey, Lebanon would be like that, or Jordan would be the best place. But like with regard to your question, I believe that everyone can do something. So it's not okay. So what the IIE is doing is really great, but as you said, it's limited because like they cannot give more than a number of scholars, and the same with the students. But I'm imagining like I don't know how many universities are in the USA and how many universities are in Europe and in Japan and in the world. I'm sure like there are 4,000, 5,000, because like I always like follow the ranking. Well, I'm speaking about like good universities, of course, like because we don't want to send our students at the end, like we are sending them to complete their education in good. So at least like there are 4,000, 5,000 universities in the world. So if only each university just like supports one student, one Syrian student, I think that makes difference. And the same with academics, with faculty. So yeah, if they support like, well, of course, like we don't have 5,000 faculty in Syria. So that means that the number of universities is more than enough for Syrian faculty. The other thing that there are some countries that they have very reduced fees, or like the education is free, such as Germany. So the only problem for students, just like the living expenses. So like if they could get scholarship just covering the living expenses, I think Germany and Turkey. So recently Turkey, the government issued a resolution giving the Syrian students the opportunity to study in any Turkish university and treated like the Turkish students. So if it's private university, so they pay the home student fees. If it's governmental university, they are fee-free. So now there are 7 governmental universities in Turkey allowing students to be enrolled in their program, which is really good. So I wonder like why like other universities, like either in Europe, in America, could do the same, or like either decrease or like have discount for Syrian students, or provide like one seat in their universities, and yeah, that would be really great. But I'm sure like a lot of things could be done to minimize this tragedy.
I'd like to give each of the panelists an opportunity as we wrap up here to add a comment or reflection on the questions that have been asked, and maybe in the framework, and I want to start with Keith, and then we'll just go down the line. What's your biggest worry for the next 6 months, and what can we do about it?
Well, my biggest worry in terms of the students is that we'll see a kind of political change in the region like we saw in Egypt, where Egypt had been very accepting of Syrian university students, of Syrian refugees, and then with the coup d'etat that wasn't a coup d'etat, there was a volte-face in a 180-degree turn in Egyptian political opinion and political treatment of Syrians, where Syrians went from being a welcomed group that Egypt was honoring its responsibility to accept refugees, to a state that became very hostile to Syrian refugees and to Syrians in general, foreclosing many of the opportunities we had sought to place Syrian university students in Egypt's vast university sector. So my concern is that as this crisis continues, as the political dynamics in Syria do change, as the regime becomes more, seems to be solidifying its position effectively, that opinion, public opinion and political opinion about Syrian refugees in places like Jordan or Lebanon or Turkey may change and go from sort of in Jordan a kind of hesitating welcome and to a more outgoing welcome in Turkey to hostility. And you know, my colleague Adrian Fricke and I, we saw a tremendous level of popular hostility towards Syrians in Jordan. And refugees often face that kind of hostility. And so that's my area of deepest concern in the immediate